What secret do you know that could destroy someone? My white coworker has been cheating on her white husband with a black guy. She tells her husband that she sometimes comes to the office on weekends to get work done. She has been going to the other guy's house. One time her and her husband came by the office to drop off an extra table from their house for an event. I was in the office as I often work weekends. The husband kind of gave me a funny look as she asked what was I doing there because she never sees me here when she comes in on weekends. She is now pregnant. Overheard her talking, telling someone that the baby isn't her husband's. She is nervous. I'm the only black guy in the office. I'm nervous. My aunt was 30 and married a guy who was 70. She wanted another baby but he had had a vasectomy years earlier. She ended up banging a 50-year-old repairman and getting knocked up. She told her husband it was a miracle and he bought it. A few years later her husband committed suicide and in his obituary it listed his adult kids and said he was the proud father of Miracle Baby. I can't believe she would stoop that low. His kids had to have known. She ended up living with the repairman for years but the kid didn't know that was his real dad. Even though they have the same name. Yes. My aunt even named the kid after the repairman. WTF? She thinks I don't know but I do. She told my mom and my mom told me. I'm pretty sure my cousin would be destroyed if he found out. He's an adult now so his whole life is a lie. My uncle killed his father. He was 95 and in a lot of pain. Doctors let him come home instead of hospice because it was just a matter of time. After a particularly bad night, my uncle, a surgeon, was called. He came over with some painkillers and gave them to my grandfather, who relaxed and didn't say anything. My uncle then prayed with my grandmother and a few other people for a few minutes. When my uncle was done praying, my grandfather stopped breathing and died peacefully. My family is very religious and believed God took him to heaven at the perfect moment. I am not religious and understand that he was given a lethal dose of painkillers. My uncle likely knew approximately how long it would take, and was watching for the signs to finish the prayer at the right moment. Edit. I agree that it was an act of compassion. My grandfather had been a family practice doctor, so it is likely that he knew what was happening. I have not shared my opinions with anyone, other than the thousands of you. If anyone else in my family suspects anything, they have not said a word. Acquaintance intentionally screwed with his wife's birth control to get her pregnant, because he figured the kid would keep her busy while he's sleeping around. Turns out he genuinely loves being a dad and said the kid is the best thing that has ever happened to him. His wife was sleeping around when he did it and there's a 50% chance the kid isn't his. A friend of mine was so desperate for a baby. After a year of trying with her long-term boyfriend she started sleeping around until she got pregnant. The boyfriend doesn't have a clue and she is now playing happy families with him and her 2-year-old son. Edit. Just a few things to address. I stopped being friends with her when she started cheating. I'm not the only person that knew about it. I haven't spoken to her or her family in 3 years. The boyfriend isn't on Facebook and I haven't got a phone number for him. I wish I had told him at the beginning, but I had a lot of it going on in my own life at the time to deal with. I have been going back and forth on it for a while but don't know what to do for the best. She was texting when she crossed the intersection and killed the motorcyclist. My teenage crush took it really badly when I stopped being interested in him, and spent a while trying to sabotage everything I did, including talking to teachers to try to shut down multiple student organizations I was in. It's been a long time but we're still not each other's #1 fans. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm pretty sure his very Christian fiancée who is waiting for marriage to have sex and thinks he is too wouldn't be too thrilled to know about the time when he spent a year hooking up with gay men who he met by posting dick pics on 8chan. My best friend has a secret daughter from a one-night stand. She's over 20 years old now. His family still has no idea. She tried a couple times to contact him but he told her to duck off. My best friend is a cock. A girl I know got gangbanged by 3 of her cousins while all of them were wasted. An acquaintance of mine, Semi-friend overlapping social circles, is a second-year university professor and is dating one of his freshman students. He's in his late 20s. Doesn't have tenure yet. And I couldn't care less about the morality of it, she's of age. But the conflict of interest thing is a real risk to his career. Friend of mine knocked up a one-night stand in college. We were all friends. And she decided not to tell him. Both are happily married with kids with their new spouses. Except one of her kids is my friend's. And not her husband's. My buddy made out with another buddy's mom at a bonfire while the husband was out of town. This was a year after high school. My partner has been cheating on me for months with various women under the guise of work. He's a photographer. How did I find out? Because he posts the videos on his adult work profile, which I have recently gained access to. I have screenshots of thousands of pics and hundreds of videos of him making the beast with 2 backs with about 100 women, and a couple of TVs. I am planning on releasing this information to anyone who will listen. Especially his parents and the mother of his child. I work on construction projects internationally. Guys that work these types of jobs are known to be womanizers. However, there are plenty of men who carry the family man moniker. I know plenty of married men who bang prostitutes all year long, for example, Bahrain, and go home to their wives, who I know, several times a year and pretend like they're monogamous. Some of them have kids their other family doesn't know about. It's more common than you might think. While the 70 or 30-year-old husband is sticking his whiner in anything with a heartbeat. The wife is home running the household.